BARDA Industry Day provides an opportunity for the entire BARDA organization to interact with our external stakeholders. We have the ability to highlight some of our accomplishments, our recent accomplishments, lay out our strategic priorities for the coming fiscal year, as well as for future years, and also highlight some of the challenges that we all face. But more importantly, in addition to highlighting those challenges, is highlighting solutions that the BARDA organization is bringing forward to address some of those solutions. I want to thank our external stakeholders, our industry partners, as well as our U.S. government partners for their continued collaboration to make BARDA an impactful organization. And most importantly, I want to thank the BARDA team. It is an incredible opportunity and just an honor for me to represent you and work beside you. The BARDA team is truly dedicated to public health and bringing forward solutions to public health emergencies, and their dedication is, I feel, unparalleled in the U.S. government. And the impactful program that BARDA has become has also been recognized by our international partners. So within the last year, the European Commission stood up HERA to model, based off of the BARDA model, to set up an organization within the European Union to develop medical countermeasures and improve pandemic preparedness for the European Union. And likewise, the government of Japan stood up SCARTA, again, built off the BARDA model to improve Japan's pandemic preparedness. So fiscal year 22 has been an incredibly productive year for the BARDA organization. It's also been an incredibly busy year for the BARDA organization. In addition to everything that we do with our partners to address chemical, biological, radiological, and nuclear threats, pandemic influenza, emerging infectious diseases, and support innovative technologies, we've been involved in 3 responses. As the ASPR mentioned, we continue our involvement in the COVID response. We have worked in collaboration with our colleagues from HCOR, as well as the SNS and the CDC, and our partners at JPO, the Department of Defense, to procure the bivalent vaccine and make that available for the fall vaccine campaign, as well as procure and roll out vaccines for all individuals above the age of 6. So we will continue to do this as we move forward. We're also continuing to push out therapeutics with over 18.5 million therapeutics that have been pushed out across the nation, as well as diagnostics. And many people don't remember that some of the earliest diagnostics that were made available during the COVID response were those supported by BARDA that received EUAs early on. We're also involved, as the ASPR mentioned, in the monkeypox response. And the monkeypox response will serve as a model as we move forward for pandemic preparedness. So we were able to leverage, as the ASPR mentioned, our previous investments and had a licensed smallpox vaccine as well as a smallpox antiviral. The smallpox vaccine actually has a monkeypox indication, and we were able to roll that out quickly. The smallpox antiviral can be used under a compassionate use protocol to treat those individuals who require it. We were also able to scale up fill finish of the vaccine and make more of that available, as well as support domestic manufacturing of the vaccine. So BARDA played a critical role in having these products immediately available to respond to monkeypox. As I mentioned, we'll discuss some of the challenges. One of the challenges is that this has decremented our preparedness for smallpox. And so absent congressional funding to provide a bolus of funds that we can return our smallpox preparedness to where it was prior to the monkeypox response, it will take us several years to build back that preparedness. And as the ASPR mentioned as well, we're also involved in the Sudan outbreak in Uganda. The world looked to BARDA as one of the few organizations globally that was supporting the development of Sudan medical countermeasures, vaccines, therapeutics, as well as diagnostics. We're working very closely with our international partners as well as our intergovernmental partners to scale up manufacturing and, as ASPR mentioned, make those products available for potential clinical trials in Uganda. And as the ASPR mentioned, BARDA has already sent over some of the therapeutics as well as numerous diagnostic tests for cadaver screening. So again, very proud of all of these efforts in addition to what we do every day. But BARDA has become a response organization. So one of the metrics that we use to measure success is FDA approvals, licensures, or clearances. And over our 15-year history, In collaboration with our industry partners, we have supported 65 of these. So these cut across our CBRN, pandemic influenza, and emerging infectious disease threat space. They include vaccines, diagnostics, therapeutics, and devices. And it is critical to keep track of these and use this as a metric, because these are products that are now available if there is a public health crisis, that these can be deployed quickly. But it is only one measure of our success. Another measure of our success is investments in a robust portfolio under advanced research and development, as well as a robust portfolio in innovative earlier technologies. And those technologies, again, will be the basis of the next 65 products that are supported by BARDA for FDA approvals, clearances, or licensures. And so the 3 that were added in fiscal year 22 cut across multiple threat spaces. The Spikevax in our partnership with Moderna. So in addition to the JPEO contract for procurement, BARDA had its own contract with Moderna to support advanced research and development and licensure of the Spikevax vaccine. Our continued partnership with SIGA Technologies has led to an intravenous formulation of TPOXX, and this is actually being deployed right now in the monkeypox response. And then finally, our partnership with DiaSorin led to one of the first FDA clearances for a COVID diagnostic. And then our first approval in fiscal year 23 is the Silverlon product in our partnership with Argentum. And so this product was originally developed by BARDA in collaboration with Argentum for first and second degree burns. That was its first FDA approval. The second FDA approval came when the chemical branch supported the development of this product to address sulfur mustard burns. And then most recently, the burn branch has worked with them to support the radiation cutaneous injury indication. So a single product that has 3 indications to address multiple threats that BARDA has to address. And this product also has a commercial indication for radiation dermatitis as well as burn injury treatment for individuals, helping to sustain that program. Some additional FY22 highlights. We have our contracting professionals executed over 890 contracting actions. This represents more than 3/4 of the total contracting actions by the ASPR organization. We have 10 new research areas of interest in our EZBA and broad agency announcement, over 70 new partnerships in fiscal year 2022, and we've also invested through our PCI program in industrial-based capacity expansion for sterile injectables as part of the COVID response, an investment of over $1.7 billion, and expansion of 3 domestic diagnostic manufacturing efforts, as well as 4 medical countermeasures that have been added to the Strategic National Stockpile. So you'll hear about all of these in greater detail as we go throughout the day, but just an incredible amount of productive interactions with our stakeholders to make all of this happen. Our stakeholders always want to know the BARDA investments, so this is by the numbers, and BARDA receives about $2 billion through our annual appropriations for advanced research and development, Project BioShield, and pandemic influenza. You can see that there was a slight dip in fiscal year 21 as far as the amount of money we were able to award. We still received our $2 billion in appropriations, but because of competing priorities with the COVID response, we were not quite able to meet our target of getting greater than 95% of our provided funds invested. However, as we built the BARDA organization and brought on new people, both federal staff as well as contract support, we were able to bounce back, and that money carried forward into fiscal year 2022, and we actually made $2.23 billion in investments in 2022 for pandemic influenza, Project BioShield, and advanced research and development. In addition, in fiscal year 2022, we invested $26.3 billion in the COVID response for vaccines and therapeutics. This is more than 10 times the amount of funding that we were provided on an annual basis to prepare our nation for the future pandemics. We did this in collaboration with our partners at JPEO and ACC, and we're very grateful for that collaboration over the entire COVID response. I do want to mention that many of these contracts that were awarded by JPEO and ACC are transitioning back to BARDA, so this is going to be a heavy lift for the BARDA organization, but our DCA team, our contracting staff, is well poised to accept these contracts and is working very hard to make sure that the transition is smooth. One of the highlights for fiscal year 2022 was the release of the BARDA Strategic Plan. One of my top priorities after becoming the permanent director of BARDA was to update the BARDA Strategic Plan, which had not been released since fiscal year 2011. So I felt that it was critically important that BARDA lay out its vision, its strategic vision, as well as the vision for our organization to our external stakeholders. There are 4 primary goals, and you can see those highlighted on the slide. Preparedness, which is what we do and have been doing for the past 15 years, as well as a goal for response. As I mentioned, BARDA is increasingly called upon to respond to public health emergencies. BARDA was not established as a response organization, but I mentioned again that BARDA is now a response organization. So we have to determine how to minimize the impact on the rest of the BARDA organization when we are in response mode. Part of that comes from increased staff so that we have the ability to be flexible and do both of our day jobs as well as a response mode. But part of that is also looking across the BARDA organization at a response structure. Obviously, our partnerships, we want to increase and streamline the way that we interact with our partners, and I'll talk about that in a minute. And then workforce. Again, I feel that BARDA, the BARDA team is one of the most dedicated teams in the federal government, and we want to continue to build that team as we move forward. So looking to the future for fiscal year 23, and you'll hear about many of these topics today, and I'm not going to go through all of them, but one of the things that you'll see that is common across all of the program divisions is innovation as well as threat agnostic development for vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics. And so this is a key moving forward. This aligns with our BARDA strategic plan and will better position BARDA, the BARDA organization for the future. So as far as innovation, BARDA has been very involved in establishing an innovative ecosystem since the establishment of DRIVE in 2018, the Division of Research, Innovation, and Ventures. And it was critical when we stood up DRIVE, we also stood up an accelerator network. And we currently have 13 accelerators located across the United States because we wanted to interact with those innovators that are located outside of DC and those innovators that may not consider partnering with the federal government. They need money quickly. They're not used to working with the federal government. There's a lot of bureaucracy that's involved. And so the accelerators were able to, actually reach out to the innovative community, those entrepreneurs, and introduce them to the BARDA organization. And we also established a way for these small innovative companies to work with the federal government through our Easy BAA, again, bringing a solution to a potential issue or a challenge for these companies. It is a very streamlined process that allows us to award funds quickly, and even though it's capped at $750,000, it initiates that partnership with the companies. We also have the JLabs Blue Knight program, which is our partnership with Johnson & Johnson JLabs. We have established a lab space here in Washington, D.C. at National Children's Hospital, and we're currently supporting 26 companies, 26 innovative companies, both within the United States and elsewhere. And then BARDA Ventures was our partnership with GHIC, which you'll hear from the CEO of GHIC in just a couple of minutes. That was launched in 2021. We're celebrating a 1-year anniversary in 2022, and they've already made 7 investments. But the goal of this entire program, this innovation program, is to spur innovation to bring those next innovative technologies forward as medical countermeasure development. So I mentioned streamlining our partnership opportunities. We're establishing a National Biopharmaceutical Manufacturing Consortium, or BIOMAC. The initial efforts will be built off of the industrial-based capacity expansion efforts that we've been focusing on through the COVID response, as well as looking at innovative manufacturing technologies. We're also modernizing the broad agency announcement and making the phase 1 stage of the broad agency announcement streamlined and easier so that we can provide feedback to our companies in a more rapid time frame. The broad agency announcement has served us well for the past 12 years, but it is important that we update this as we move forward. We're also expanding our EasyBA to include a follow-on phase for those companies that are successful under the first EasyBA award. And this also acts as an opportunity to provide them funding if they're not quite ready for a true advanced research and development contract. We're launching, and hopefully we'll have this in place by the end of fiscal year 23, a rapid response consortium, which is similar to the program that JPEO has under MCDC. We can no longer rely on our DoD colleagues like we did for COVID response moving forward in the future. And as I mentioned, the broad agency announcement has been a great tool for preparedness, but we need a new tool to support response. We're also advancing multiple legislative proposals under the A19 process. I can't talk about those until they're out of the department, but we're happy to work with organizations like MC2, BIO, and the Alliance for Biosecurity, as well as our congressional members under technical assistance as PAPA reauthorization moves forward. So there are two policies that will drive a lot of what BARDA does moving forward. The American Pandemic Preparedness Plan and the National Biodefense Strategy Implementation Plan. There are very ambitious goals laid out in these two plans. One of those is to have sufficient vaccine in a future pandemic for all Americans within 100 days. It is critical that BARDA receives funding under the American Pandemic Preparedness Plan so that we can actually prepare for and develop medical countermeasures as we move forward to support future pandemic preparedness. And this slide actually highlights one of the things I mentioned earlier about monkeypox and as well as Ebola. So we know that we can do this. We know we can do it within 100 days, but it relies on having licensed products available. So for Ebola, Zaire, we are able to now have vaccines, therapeutics, and diagnostics available within 24 hours of an outbreak, and the same thing for monkeypox outbreak. And as well as we did under Operation Warp Speed, the CAG, and now HCOR in developing therapeutics and vaccines and antivirals, if you look at the timeline, it took 5 months to repurpose a product that was already in phase 3 development for another indication. It took us 11 months to develop monoclonal antibodies in the vaccines, and it took 24 months to develop novel antivirals against COVID-19. So even though we had incredible success in the COVID response, which was a whole of government as well as working with our private sector partners, we have to meet a 100-day goal. And the only way to do that is to have those licensed products available. We know that we can do this. We've done it for Ebola Zaire. We've done it for monkeypox. And we've also shown that it can be done for COVID. Pfizer and Moderna were able to develop bivalent vaccines in 70 days. But again, that's based on a licensed vaccine technology. So even absent AP3 funding, which we don't think we're going to get in FY23, even though we will make another request for FY24, BARDA is looking across our portfolio to make investments in threat-agnostic products. And you can see some of the priority platforms and technologies and approaches that we're interested in investing in. And if you have one of those technologies and threat-agnostic programs or products, please register for a TechWatch. Our TechWatch program is a best-in-class and a best practice for the U.S. government. I want to thank the TechWatch team. It served as a single port of entry for any company that was interested in partnering with the U.S. government during the COVID response, and again, as a best practice moving forward. And even if your technology is not a perfect fit for BARDA, we bring other federal funders to those TechWatches, such as other agencies from HHS and DoD that may be able to provide funding. And we always provide honest feedback. If you want to register for a TechWatch meeting, you can do that under medicalcountermeasures.gov. So we have a packed agenda, and I know I've gone over time. In addition to the keynote addresses, I hope you'll all tune in tomorrow for the congressional perspectives by Congresswoman Eshoo and Congressman Hudson, as well as the cross-divisional strategic sessions that are throughout today and tomorrow, and then also the network opportunities. So we heard your criticism last year, and these network opportunities are now more interactive, where you actually have an opportunity to speak directly to BARDA staff as we move forward. And then finally, I want to, as Secretary O'Connell mentioned, Assistant Secretary O'Connell mentioned, acknowledge our Mask Innovation Challenge awardees. Again, there were over 1,500 submissions. This was a BARDA-initiated effort through our DRIVE program in collaboration with NIOSH, CDC, and NIST. It was incredible to see the response that we got from those innovators across the United States. 2 overall winners were selected, which will receive $150,000 each, as well as mentoring from BARDA. And those awardees are Origami and Ready Mask. And then there were 2 runners-up that will receive $50,000 each, as well as mentorship from the BARDA organization, and those are Flowmask and Levi's. So congratulations to the Mask Innovation Challenge winners. And then our Blue Knight Quickfire Challenge winners, I want to acknowledge those as well. Again, this is our collaboration with Johnson & Johnson J-Labs. We had 3 focus areas. There were over 100 submissions. And 2 of the winners are host-directed therapeutics. That's Inthelia Therapeutics and ImmuneX. We also are going to be supporting NanoFreeze, which is a unique system that allows for freezing at higher temperatures, which can address shipping of vaccines and therapeutics and support the ultra-cold chain that are required for those. And then Vaxxis, which has the Mimic system, which is a self-applied vaccine patch to increase access to vaccines. So congratulations to our Quickfire Challenge awardees. And finally, thank you. Thank you to our external stakeholders, our industry partners, our federal employees, our other U.S. government partners that work with us, and you, the BARDA team, for all of the incredible work that you do each and every day to improve public health. And I hope you all have an enjoyable BARDA Industry Day. Thank you.